the shower. I need a little longer to finish my hair. All right, y'all. Girls of the World. That's some Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Girls of the World ain't nothing but trouble. I didn't do that song for that. It just happened to be in the rotation.
He's trying to be funny, y'all.
No,
y'all don't let him play us.
It just happened to be in the rotation. It was just in the
Girls
rotation.
Ain't Nothing But Trouble is not in nobody's rotation.
It was in the rotation. I told you we had to pay the bills, and that was just one of the bills we had to pay. It was just in rotation.
Welcome back to 411 Sports Talk Radio on FaceTimeRadio.com. Supposedly that was DJ Benchwarmer trying to explain himself out of a hole that Almighty put him in.
It was in a rotation.
Our website is 411sportsnews.com. Oh my, go ahead and proceed with what you was trying to explain to Benchwarmer about the last conversation we just had.
Yes. So basically, we're not going to submit to you.
That's what it was.
No. No, that's not what we were saying. What we finally came to, which I just posted on Facebook. You guys keep up with us on Facebook. I just posted, submit always and quit never. But I also stated to the bench warmer, I mean that, but what I was stating to the bench warmer is it's hard to submit when things are volatile on the male side.
Okay, so fellas, let me help you guys out for a second. First of all, the responsibility of a man is to love your wife as Christ also loved the church, which means that you need to be willing to die for your wife. He sacrificed himself from her for his church, and the church represents the woman, the wife, so the men has to sacrifice for themselves. But if you get this little tired woman who act like she don't want to do nothing, want to keep bumping her gums and want to put you through stuff, the way you get, and this is not necessarily making her, but the way you get response from your woman is be a servant. Learn how to serve, because once you learn how to serve, you serve in all things. You serve your church, you serve your wife. Once you learn how to serve, it'll show your leadership abilities, because what will happen is that she can't do nothing but follow. The moral of the story that I wanted to bring about with Pastor and his wife, Pastor Evans and his mother and his father, was the moral of the story is she said, I can't do nothing with this man, I got to get with him. I can't shake him, I can't rock him, but he became a servant. He just served. He didn't serve mean, he just served happily. He did his responsibility, he took care of his responsibility. And that's just what he did. And what happened at the end of the day is she became, with him, they raised Pastor Tony Evans. Pastor Tony Evans has this huge church with this mega ministry because his father was willing to be a servant. So if you want your woman to act right, get some act-right juice and serve.
Get some some act-right juice.
Act-right juice.
Well, I want to hear what the professor has to say a little bit before we go on to our entertainment news.
Well,
you can't say that, can you?
Well, no, I can, but I always set the stage for you and Omar the talk, because I'm the audience. I just sit back and listen. Y'all go back and forth. Mine's is plain. It's plain and simple. I'm in my second marriage right now, and my second marriage is based upon my high school sweetheart. I was with her from 92 to 94, then I left her because I wanted to play the field.
Being dumb. What's that?
And that's what I did. And then as life went on, I went through my trials and tribulations. I gave my life to Christ March 17, 2007, when I was 30 years old. While I was married to my first wife. When I gave my life to Christ, my marriage got worse. It got worse because of what we're talking about. She refused to submit. When I gave my life to Christ, she now said, why are you giving your attention more to the church and God than what you used to do before you did all this?
Wow.
So with that being said, to answer Omar's question, that's why I said you see a lot of women, and some women, I'm not going to say all women, let me make sure I clearly state some women.
All women.
No, you said that. Some women have a hard time submitting because they want to be in control.
Right.
It may be dependent on their upbringing, how they were raised.
Right.
The person they may have been around, their mother may have been the same way, and she caught on to those tendencies.
Right.
And now the daughter that
just
has grown up.
It's a learned behavior.
Now thank you. It's a learned behavior. Now, my thoughts on this is what I had told on mine earlier, is that if you want a woman to submit to a man, she has to witness the fact that that man has a relationship with God.
Right.
Hands down. If she sees that you're doing all this other extra stuff that's not godlike, gambling, not spending time with your family, messing around, drinking, alcoholism, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you want her to submit to you when you give orders of the house and you see that she's not listening. That could cause an issue. But what I'm saying, basically, and I understood what you said, Ms. Woman, about the example you gave with Pastor Evans, because that's a good one. That's a good one. I was just sticking to the foundation that it's when a woman sees that her husband has a relationship with God, she has no choice but to follow his lead.
But here's what I'm saying, though. You don't ever give your woman orders.
Well, I'm not orders. No.
You don't even
you misconstrued that. When I say the word orders, I mean basically you leading your household.
Right, but you don't even tell her what to do.
You may not have to. No, you may not have to.
No, it's not that if you have to or if you don't do it. Here's what you do. If you want to get your woman to submit and follow you, you have to, one, lead. How do you lead? You lead by action. If I want my house clean, I'm going to clean up my house. I'm not going to sit there and say, woman, get up.
Lead.
No, I'm not going to sit there and say, woman, get up and clean up.
God gave that responsibility to man.
Right.
But it starts with his relationship with God, does it not?
Yeah.
It does. But let me ask you a question.
But why is there a but?
No, it's not a but. It's not a but. I'll say this right. It does. It starts with a true relationship with him. The question is it a true relationship? Because I think that's where the rubber meets the road. Is it a true relationship, or is it just a semi look-like relationship? So, and when I say look-like relationship, I'm going to read my Bible, I'm going to pray, but I'm not really in my heart with him. Because you can have a relationship.
The way you know that is by what the professor is saying. That the way you know it is what you said, through action. But you also know it through his communication style, his verbal communication, his sexual communication, his financial communication. Like the way he is also dealing with matters of the heart, the way he's talking to her, the way that he's talking to himself.
Right.
True.
So you see both sides. You're going to see the action, which is extremely powerful and crucial and mandatory. But see, that butter that we like, the sweet stuff that women like, is what the professor is talking about. That not only with your actions, which is unspeakable, that's unexplainable, that's like unto God, but what professor is talking about is that stuff that, you know, that we look for to honor, to do our extra, to do more, to go over above and beyond, because he is not only acting like what he's saying, he is saying what he's acting like.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question. Let's go with something touchy. What if
you won't leave it alone? Look, we're getting along right now. What's wrong with you?
Well, because here's where
you need a hug and a role model.
Here's where most of the time the rubber meets the road. Okay. If I have my way of doing things, and a woman has her way of doing things, and those ways clash, okay? Because this is where.
But y'all get that ironed out before you get married. Now,
no, you really don't. You really don't. No. Remember we just said this. When y'all dating, that's your representative. Remember we said that we talked about that. That's your representative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I like what you're talking about when I'm dating you. When we get married, no, I pay my bills the first of the month. No, I pay my bills on the 15th of the month. No, I pay all my bills to where I ain't got no money in the bank, but my bills are paid. No, I don't like paying like that. I like to have a little money set aside. Stuff like that right there.
Where's the compatibility? Where's the balance at?
And that's what you need. And sometimes if you get a woman who's been alone for so long and it's been working for her for so long that way, and then you get a man comes in who's been doing it his way and it's been working his way for so long, there has to, and at times that man might say, no, we're going to do it this way. Because sometimes,
that's that nasty
a woman,
C word I don't want to say. That's that nasty C word called compromise.
No. But here's what I'm saying, though. Sometimes God will tell a man to do something that does not make that woman happy. And this is where we go back to the Adam and Eve. Adam said, you know, homegirl, I'm just going to go and eat the apple because I know we've been arguing and fussing about this. I just want to, okay, I'll eat it. I'll take the apple.
Why are you always buttered up on the guy's side?
No, I'm not. No, because the reality is this. Sometimes if you get a man, a God-fearing man, sometimes he just does things just to keep his wife happy. Even though God is saying it ain't about making her happy, it's about doing what I want you to do.
What's the
and
one
he's
thing?
building resentment the whole while.
What's the one thing that women want from her husband? What's the one thing that women want from her husband? I said it right.
Yeah.
Well, there's just one.
What's the one thing in the Bible that a woman would like to get from her husband?
She wants to know that her husband got her back 24/7.
I say love.
Yeah, love. I mean, but what is love?
Yeah.
But
I would rather say the term love. I would rather say love her like
Christ loved the church.
Yeah, like she is. Yeah, on a pedestal.
Exactly. But here's the deal, though. If I do something, I love you like Christ loved the church, but Christ did not do what the church wanted him to do at all times. And that's where I'm getting at.
No, but see, the church wasn't the one that was mad at him. That was the Sadducees and Pharisees, but the church didn't have no problem with Jesus.
No.
That was that leadership.
When I say the church, you know, I mean just people in general.
The concept. I got you. Yeah, the concept.
So because he's not. God is not. You're not going to do everything because.
But Jesus also was a leader, like you said. He led by action, miracles.
He did.
Changing water into wine, speaking that word, talking about stuff. You know, so he was a different kind of guy. If you had somebody like Jesus walking on the face of this earth,
and you decide to leave him, you got some problems.
You do. But the men like the professor who have found themselves after knowing that they like he was responsible and he was accountable for what had happened, and now he's in a predicament in a situation that is exactly where God has him aligned, so he's able to come back and talk to those other people who may not, you know, who may be, I won't say lost, but who may be in their way. They may be on their own way.
Right, and I agree. I'm just saying, I think what we have to understand is this: God is going to, and this is I don't think women like hearing this, but God will give that man the role and responsibility for his household. He's going, especially if that man is in tune with God, he's going to give that man the role and responsibility. That man's responsibility is to make sure that is exercised out. God is not going to usurp the man and give the woman the role or the orders of the house. Something I always say, I've said this many times, if God were to walk into my house, knock on the door and walk in my house, and I'm in the back on my computer working, trying to make that money, and my wife is on front, she on the computer, the kids are playing Wii or something, but the house is messed up, dishes ain't washed, dishes ain't clean, you got kids ain't done their homework and nothing like that, their grades are just all over the place, is he going to stop to your wife? Nope. God ain't going to stop to your wife. He ain't going to stop at your kids. He going to come back to you and say, what's going on with your house? I use that example all the time, and that's where the shoulder, that's where it becomes a weight on a man's shoulder to say, my responsibility is to take care of my household. It might not be what you want it to be or how you think it should be. As a woman, you have to realize that, you know what, if my husband is in tune, like we said before, with God, his decisions got to be the final, even if I don't like it. And that's where the rubber meets the road. Can you still be submissive to your husband, even if the decision he makes you don't like, or you think he's going the wrong direction?
A woman has to be happy with herself to where whatever he's saying should be golden. It shouldn't even matter that you like it or you don't like it. You're happy about being a part of your household as well. That's her place too. So she's got to be happy that someone there helping her. So she's a helpmeet, right? That's what her whole construction and design and engineering was made to be, was a helpmeet. Everything was already laid out for her. So as long as it's already laid out for her, she should have